Okie dokie, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a very basic setup of an Arma 3 server. To do this we're going to be using TADST and Arma, no not that, we're going to be using the Steam CMD command line tool. So to get started what we're going to do is we're going to download Steam CMD. And we're going to click here. Save file. We're going to open that. We're going to make a new folder on the desktop. And I'm going to call it Steam. Drag that over there. And run that. So that's now going to do its thing. Downloads and updates. You can see that it's extracting a load of stuff into this folder. And then we can log in. So you have to have a Steam account and it needs to own Arma 3. So you then need to type login. And then you need to put in your password. Cool. So once you're there, what you can then do is you need to type app update and you need to type 233780 and the word validate. That's now going to download all of the files you need to install the Arma 3 server. So this is going to take a little while, so what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to speed up the download process here for you guys. Right, so there we go, that's fully installed. So what we're going to do now is we are going to make another folder and we are going to call that Arma 3 server. That can go there. So here in the Steam directory, which is this one here, we're going to go to Steam Apps, Common, Arma 3 server. I'm going to grab all of these files. We are going to copy them into this folder here. Now as you can see that's going to take a little while to copy across, so what we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to open up your favourite browser, and I use Waterfox, and we're going to get Arma 3 TADST. This is quite an old bit of software, but it's pretty damn good. And it makes things really easy for setting up your first couple of Arma 3 servers, or even if you just want to set up a really quick server rather than sorting out the configuration files yourself. We're going to download that. And that still hasn't finished copying across. But all you need to do is, once you've downloaded TADST, you need to drag that into the root directory of your Arma 3 server. So I'm going to probably fast forward this again so you don't have to watch this transfer at very annoyingly slow speeds. This is what you get for having old hard disk drives. Here we go. So that's now done. So now that that is up, we can close everything else and close everything else, and we can just have this Arma 3 server Arma 3 server, directory open. So now we can open up TADST, or of course hit that we actually do want to run that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set it up to, that's the name of the server, this is the port, obviously the max numbers. This allows you to set a password, an admin password. These are the logging files. Most of this is all pretty self-explanatory. Depending on what kind of server you're running, depends on how you want to set it up. You do of course need to select your server file, in which case you hit these three dots here and just select Arma 3 server underscore x64 if you want to run a 64-bit server, which you do. Here you can set the message of the day that will show up in the corner. Verify signatures, make sure people can't join with mods that aren't allowed. Also enable BattlEye. And there we have that. This is where you select your missions. Once you've got them, they will show up. So for example, if we were to download let's download this. So yeah, there we go. You need to put your mission files in MP missions, and then what you can do is, hey, we don't even have this installed. Great. So we can download PBO Manager. And that'll allow you to repackage the PBOs once you've downloaded them. That'll allow you to repackage them into something that's more compressed for the server to play with. Hey, look at that, I don't even have 7-zip installed. Whew. So we are going to open with more options. Huh? Ah. There we go. So now we've opened that, we can install the 64-bit version. We can go back here and we can right click and hit PBO Manager, pack into KP Liberation. So you can see here, if we hit refresh, that will show up these liberation files in the folder. If you want to have multiple, if you want to have your mission files loop through, you can select multiple, but for now I'm just going to select one, but it's got an arrow. This is where you can load mods in. You can set various difficulty levels. You do have to make sure that if you do set things custom in here, you have to go back into this window and stick this on custom. Otherwise, it won't apply the options that you select here. This is all more complex stuff that you don't necessarily need. But if you need to get into these, then you probably shouldn't be using TADST. So there you go. Once you've got this all set up, I'm going to enable auto init, which will automatically start the mission as soon as the server starts, rather than wait for someone to connect. And then I'm going to hit launch. So this is going to start up the server. It might take a little while depending on the specs of your computer. This is a pretty old computer running on a hard disk, so it might take a little while. So you can see here, dedicated host created. That means that it's set up this, basically that line there means that it's set up this window. And there we go, we can see that it's managed to start up a server on 2302. It's reading the correct mission file and it's now reading the mission. Once it's read the mission, it'll tell you game started. So there we go, you can actually see that there's actually an issue with the mission file, so it won't launch. So let's go in and let's fix that issue. Yeah, that would make sense. Because I didn't include any of the... So we can now delete that. Back into KP Liberation. And hit launch again. So we're going to go through this again, dedicated host created, it'll then set up a Battle.io server, set up the game server, and then start reading the mission. Like that. And there we go, that is the game started. So assuming you've set up your port forwarding correctly, you can see my server's on 192.168.03. I should be able to connect to that from in-game. There's no password, so I'll just be able to connect direct to that, and the server will be working. So that is how to set up a very, very simple Arma 3 server on TADST. I'm going to be doing another video on how to set up a simple life server. But more on that next time. I've been JJ Abrams. Thank you.